Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Oh, the Illblurmatic. Welcome back to Illblurmatic, and today is going to be story time on how I got to hip hop music. So, this story starts off me being a youngster. You know what I'm saying? Like at the time, before I could listen to music with explicit lyrics, I was listening to the radio edits of like Tupac stuff, Biggie, even some of Nas stuff at the time. You know what I'm saying? And I was a young man then, you know what I'm saying? I was like I said, like super duper young, like 8, 9, you know what I'm saying, 10 years old. Then let's fast forward to like when I started to get a little bit more into hip hop. I can remember I had CDs, you know what I'm saying? I had like, I ain't gonna front y'all. I had the little Romeo and Bow Wow CDs. if you want to go early, I had those CDs. Then there was an artist that I was like, yo, I really like this guy. Like, and it's crazy because like he was very like influential. Kanye West. I can remember the first time I got that CD, yo. I played that CD. When I mean I played that CD religiously, that CD, every time I was playing that CD from back to front, front to back, I was such a like hip hop head. I didn't even know it at the time, y'all. I was like, yo, like I said, I like the production on there. You know what I'm saying? Lyrics. I remember like going places and, at the time I was playing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had all the different songs through the wire, 2 words, you know what I'm saying? Just playing the music. I had a CD player. Your man didn't have an iPod, but that's coming later. So, eventually, around middle school towards the, I listened to like artists like Ludacris, Chingy, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I started to have not just Midwest taste. I started to have, some Southern artists I was into. But officially my first CDs I actually bought, I remember, and this is like back towards like my high school years, was the drum roll please. Was Game. I remember that CD. I had that, the documentary, and T.I. Urban Legend. Oh my God. Like that CD was my jam, y'all. So eventually, you know what I'm saying, when I first bought those CDs, I started to become like more of a hip hop head. Like, you know what I'm saying? I eventually started to check out some of the other Tupac CDs because I knew about the last 2 CDs because they played some of that on the radio. You know what I'm saying? Not so much the third CD and his first 2 CDs as well. Like I would, during high school, I would like literally go to the record store, and like it's funny because my family owned the record store, and I would go and literally go buy like, you know what I'm saying, some of the older stuff I was buying, the Tupac CDs. You know what I'm saying? I bought the first 2 Tupac CDs from there because I never saw them at Best Buy or Circuit City, the first 2 CDs. You know what I'm saying? Then when I went to was it Target, I bought All Eyes on Me. You know what I'm saying? And then I bought the last CD, and then, you know what I'm saying, Me Against the World. But for me, at first I was like into the production, but then as I started to get more into like hip hop, like really into it, I like lyricism, you know what I'm saying? Like a good storyteller. So like I started to get into Nas more, you know what I'm saying? Like Tupac was one of the rappers I really enjoyed listening to, but then Nas. Then like towards my college years, like I started to find other artists that were like in a younger spectrum around the time. Like you had the Big Shines, you had the Drakes, you had the Kendrick Lamars, the J. Cole's. And with that, it was different, you know what I'm saying? Because like some of the stuff, like Kendrick reminded me of Nas because he had a lot of lyricism going on. And I remember my man's, my other story time I told y'all about live mixtapes. Live mixtapes, I was downloading like all the Kendrick stuff because I thought the Kendrick stuff was dope. Mixtape wise, you know what I'm saying? At the time, he hadn't dropped a debut album. I came across John Connor. SV is another guy that I was listening to at the time. Drake, you know what I'm saying? J. Cole, of course. Like, my other coworker was the one that put me on to J. Cole. Like, he's like, yeah, you heard dude before. You just didn't know that was him. And I'm like, yo, he nice. He nice with it, bro. Like, so like me, I like production, lyricism, and just people that like to experiment with sound. Like, I think with Kanye, I think that was the wrong reason why I really gravitated towards Kanye. Because, like, if you look at his discography, it's more like each album has a different sound scheme to it. You know what I'm saying? So that was what really like blew me away. Like, his lyricism was cool. I mean, it wasn't like super up to par like a Nas or Biggie or something like that. But that's the other thing. Also, I started to eventually, check out Biggie stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know I had my bias. I ain't gonna lie, I had my bias that I was just, only into Tupac and Nas. But I started to check out Biggie. So I'm like, dang, Biggie nice too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I had a bias. We all have biases when it comes to stuff sometimes. But I eventually started, like I said, getting into the mixtapes and stuff. Like, I would download the latest mixtapes they had, EPs, you know what I'm saying? Because at the time, a lot of that stuff was free, you know what I'm saying, on mixtape website. But it's very interesting because, like I said, with some of the younger artists, their sound was different, you know what I'm saying? Especially like J. Cole reminded me, like, literally, like, you tell that he was influenced by Kanye when it came to production. With Drake, he reminded me of, like, what's the name when it came to sound. Even though he wasn't producing the sound, it was another producer producing it, but he always had like a different sound for his albums. You know what I'm saying? So I think for me, I like dope artists, or just something that can give a story, or just lyricists. You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting, like, for me to, like, just remember and listen to edited version, and then eventually get into like the explicit version of music. What you can get from artists, and really, for me, I eventually started to, like, not to say I gravitated away from mainstream artists, but I started to discover like other artists that were indie that were really good. You know what I'm saying? Like the Anderson Paaks, the John Connors, the Lot Smiths. You know what I'm saying? Artists that you don't necessarily hear on the radio because they're independent. Even Tobe Nigwe, the artist that I also did actual music reaction to. So it's like, for me, I like music, man. I've always been into music. And it's just like my curiosity just to learn and like check out more cool artists, or artists that you could kind of be like, yeah, you know what? I like their sound. I like what the lyrics, what they're going with it. But what is your story? Or what is the music genre that you kind of went through a phase, and you kind of, like, you started off young, and then you was like, you started to learn other things about it and everything. And you're just like, this is neat. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was really cool. So this is my story time on like how I got into hip hop music, and why I enjoy it. Like I said, the lyricism, storytelling, production, you know what I'm saying, metaphors, similes, that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even artists like Lupe Fiasco too, I forgot to mention too, by the way, was one of the artists. Also bought one of his albums in high school. But until next time, guys, your boy Ill Blur Matic. Until next time, guys, take care, and I'm out. Thank you for support, Shoobill. Oh yeah.